Good afternoon, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we are at property address 4620 Southeast Salquist Road here in Gresham. Located at the back of the house, we have a 4-inch cast iron cleanout as our point of access. We're going to insert the camera and check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. We do have water currently running. We're going to zero out the foot counter right here at the base of the cleanout. Off we go, and we transition into ABS plastic right out of the gate. The line there may have just made a total 180 turnaround. Just a second here. Yeah, we'll see which direction. Sometimes these things get converted from septic. This is either going to likely wrap around the side of the house. That may have just completely turned around and went back into the crawl space there. We'll see as we locate here in a bit. Just went through an area of some standing water there. We'll see how that looks when the line's drained out at the end. And another stretch of pipe here with a fair amount of standing water in it. And I'm hearing the line gurgle, which generally tells you that the pipe there is completely full of water all the way to the top. You can see how much buildup is occurring here. There's a lot of junk collecting in the line because of the standing water. At least that's how it appears right now. Sometimes you'll get a debris dam in the line because, someone's flushed way too much stuff down the line. We'll see how this drains out in the end. We just transitioned into 3034 PVC pipe. Now those back-to-back turns we just went through, or dives there, may do the camera in. Here, we may not be able to get much further. We'll try. You get that many hard turns that far out, it may stop us up. We'll see. Yeah, that's as far as the camera's going to let us go here. I think we're getting very close to the main here because the line is diving really hard. In fact, I think we're at it right now. We're going to go locate here to verify where the line terminates at, and then we'll check everything out as we come back. I think we have reached the main here. Alrighty, we just went out and located. The line terminates at the main on Southeast Salquist. And the line here, it looks like it's wrapping around. And I'm going to describe all this as if you're standing in the road looking at the front door. The line comes out the rear, and it wraps around the right side of the home and then shoots out to the street from that point. And the reason it does that, this is a septic tank conversion. There used to be a septic tank back here, and rather than spend tons of money reversing the plumbing under the floor, they just keep it going out the back and then wrap it around the house. It's often $10,000 cheaper doing it that way, at least. All right, we still have a little water draining through. By the time we get back to the bellies, we should be fully drained at that point. The bellies are the most concerning, are the ones that are closer in to the home. The reason for that is, you get head pressure when a blockage starts or a blockage occurs in a line. So you can imagine if a belly is 80, 90 feet from a house and a blockage occurs there, you've got 80, 90 feet of pipe to fill up before you're back to the foundation wall. One, it puts a lot of insulation between that blockage and the house and it coming up through fixtures, but head pressure occurs where you start getting that much water weight building up behind a blockage, And when you're a long distance away from the home, that head pressure often just pushes things straight on through the line. Assuming that the blockage is not made out of things like paper towels, tampons, stuff that should not be going down the sewer line. Regular old toilet paper from a great distance is very uncommon to cause a blockage from a distance that far out. So, anyhow, we will see where these are all located out here as we come back. All right, so it does look like we have a belly here that dissipates out at about 80 feet. And thus far here, this belly here is only holding around a 1/16 to a 1/4 inch of water so far anyhow. And it looks like someone may have turned a little bit of water on in the house. But that standing water is not concerning to me when it's that minor. Especially considering how far that is from the home. And we pushed a bunch of debris out of the line. It's possible that up there around 80 feet, some of that water may be standing because there's debris sitting in the flow line. Either way, it's a tiny, tiny little belly. And you have another relatively small belly here as well. And this is basically continuous with the pipe we just saw up ahead that had some standing water in it. There's a little bit of separation between where it completely drains off. But if you were to repair something like this, you would not do that in 2 different pieces. You'd do it in one section to get the grade proper again. Now, at the worst point of this belly here, we're sitting right around a 1/2 inch of standing water. And when it comes to bellies and plastic pipe, where I generally start considering repairs is once there's an inch of water for at least 5 to 10 feet with buildup. So this one here is, you basically have continuous standing water from around 63 feet to 80 feet, the vast majority of which is hovering right around a 1/16 of an inch of standing water. And it's not to say that that couldn't feasibly cause problems. Generally, when I see backups, I've done about 20,000 inspections at this point. Usually when I see backups out of bellies, they've got a significant amount of water in them, and often those blockages are made of things that really should not be going down the sewer line. Huge balls of toilet paper, paper towels, things of that nature. Now, in my opinion, that belly there is just not significant enough to justify the repair cost involved there. Now, this puppy here, you can see how we've got some serious buildup occurring. And you may actually have you've got a root intrusion coming through here. And this might be the culprit behind a lot of that standing water we saw earlier. This certainly needs to be repaired. It's blocking, about 80% of the line here. We're going to go locate that. I'll mention the depth and location here in just a moment, but I highly recommend that be repaired. If repairs are not happening for whatever reason, you need to clean the line out, cut the roots out of there. Because that one right there will likely cause a backup at some point if you don't. Alrighty, so we are on the, where this is at, I've marked it with a big white X on the ground. On the right side of the home, on the backyard side of the fence, just before the gate. Luckily, it's only 2 feet deep. It's only under grass and dirt here, so in the world of sewer repairs, that's about as easy as it gets. 2 feet deep is very shallow. And it's hard to tell. I can't tell because of all the buildup in the line here if there's... It would appear that the roots have penetrated the joint right here and kind of grown back down the line. When the repair guys are down in there, they'll be able to see if that's penetrated prior to that point. Sometimes roots will, especially when it's that shallow, can bust straight through the sidewall of the pipe. So I recommend that be corrected. And it does look like you've got a belly here. You've got positive slope on the line. I can tell that just by my camera. But because there is an opening up by that root there, it is letting water get past it to a certain extent. So this does appear to just be bellied pipe here. And you can see how much buildup. This is causing blockages and partial backups. That's why you have so much debris stuck to the top of the pipe here. So it's an important one to get taken care of. When you start seeing that kind of evidence, this is the buildup made it to right here. So it didn't fully back up, but it made it dang close to the house. So that is a belly and root intrusion combo there you want to get taken care of. So from 33 feet to 51 feet, I recommend the correction. All right, you're only at 1 foot 3 inches is a super shallow repair here. 1 foot 3 to 2 feet deep. That's all on the right side of the house, just as the line rounds the turn there. Got a little bit of an offset right here, but it's an offset in the direction you want it. It's not creating a lip in the flow line for stuff to run into. But I'm going to take the repair markings back to this point. If you're already in the ground, I would get this corrected. The only reason I would do that is in the event that joint has become compromised by settling. Flow-wise, it's not really affecting anything. I'm concerned with the tree in the area, though, that you may have a weakened pipe joint here that's more susceptible to roots. More than likely what occurred with the root up ahead is the line bellied out when they buried it, which caused the joints to separate, and then the roots were able to get in very easily. So the fact we've already got one root intrusion, it's only a few feet prior to the belly. I would take it all the way back to this point here. And that spot right there is at 1 foot 1 inches. Got a tiny little bit of standing water right there. That is, as long as it stays like this, I'm not recommending repairs there. That's not even enough water to fill the full width of the flow line. It's like a 32nd of an inch of water. That kind of stuff might as well not even be there when it comes to functionality. It's just too minor. All right, we're gonna go ahead and reel out. We're gonna move over to another. There's a second clean out back here on kind of at the. It's out going out the back at the back left corner of the house. I think it may be an RV dump. We're gonna drop the camera into it really quick just to verify what it is or where it's going. As a recap, there I do recommend repairs from 27 to 51 feet. That's to deal with the significant belly, the large root intrusion, and then the first few feet there is just where the line is settled and the joint looks like it may have become compromised. It may still be intact. At 1 foot deep, there is no reason to leave any of that stuff uncorrected, though. The rest of the line we scoped there, aside from that spot, appears to be in good shape and has good flow. And then we're going to go into a 3-inch ABS clean out here. I'm going to show the RV pad over here. So there's the RV, the end of it. It's just around the corner here, right by this door. Yeah, that's where it looks like it wise into the existing sewer line. So I can't tell if it's purely an RV dump or what its purpose is. There's probably an addition or bathroom or something like that added onto the house, because I have noticed at least one other tie-in here as we go through the line. It's back closer to the start. And we don't have water going to this line. I have a new camera system. If you notice at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, there is a -2 degrees. That tells you you have slope going down. No water or no water, this line has good slope to it. And it looks like it's used. The bottom of the pipe is wet. But you do pick up a tie-in here, if I recall, right towards the beginning of the line. So you may be picking up some other fixture coming out of the house. Whatever it is, it's coming from the home. It's nothing concerning. There it is right there. There's a Y that comes in there. Anyhow, that section of the line looks great. Drains beautifully, super, super clean. All in good condition. Now, make sure after you do any repair work there, you do a rescope afterwards to check the work. It's very important to do that, especially when you're correcting a belly. Bellies can be kind of tricky sometimes to fix. You want to make sure it looks good.